Down there to Fairfax, and we came through here, we came down Washington, it wasn't too much going on. The figures were like rating like 3 point something like that. So when we got down at Fairfax, down there by Kellogg's plant, you know, again, it was still rating around 3.5, and we rode around Fairfax, and the biggest it went to was like maybe up to 7, and just real quick, went up to 0.7 point something. But it stayed pretty much in the 3 and 4 area. So the guy said, well, it's not that bad over here, you know, not that bad, because the trains are kind of a little bit more north, so I mean, so it wasn't right down by the railroad, but you do have them on that side. So he said, well, let's go across 7th Street and go over by the I-35, headed out toward KU. So we in the car, was riding out 7 when it was kind of getting toward rush hour. When we got up on 7th Street, 7th in Minnesota, there was some buses up there, so that's diesel. And the figures went up. It went up to about maybe, I don't know, maybe about 500, 600, something like that. So that's a big jump. But then we went on out 7th Street, and we crossed over the highway where it has we crossed over where the highway goes up under you with 70, and you got the train tracks right there. This daggum machine shot all the way up to 25,000. 2,500 or 25,000? 25,000, I think it was. And I told somebody, I don't know, because you're dealing in megameters and all that kind of stuff. I don't scientifically know exactly what they're talking about, but 3 point something, 25,000 in anybody's world is a big jump. It's a big jump. So I was telling this guy a story out in Argentina. The guy said, dang, man, what am I supposed to be scared or what? And I said, no, this is about education. This is because that problem's going to be there. I mean, until they're not going to get rid of diesel. They're doing things like in Edgerton and out there in California, they're going with electric cranes. And when those things go out and pick up the things and bring them in and put them on the docks or put them on these trains, they're going to electric so that they can eliminate using diesel. Your forklifts, they're going with electric forklifts. Refrigeration trucks, they are fixing them so when they come in at night, the trucks don't have to run all night. They can plug them in. They're making them electric so that they don't have to run them all night long like they had been doing. So the industry is doing things to make a difference, but they're not going to ever get rid of it. It's always going to be a factor. So I would say that over here by 7th Street, the kind of recommendations we would make would be, well, if during rush hour, if you're elderly, maybe that's a good time not to be outside cutting your grass. You know, maybe that's the way you would do it. Or if you got your grandbabies over at the house, maybe that's a good time for them not to be out there playing in the yard, because you know that during that time it's spiked to be up. And that's kind of where we are. Now, this thing going in out here in Wyandotte County, yeah, I talked to Clarence Smalls yesterday, because he has that church out there on the diagonal triangle. That's where it's going in out there by the Turner Diagonal. Across the street from the Turner Diagonal. I was explaining to him, really ought to have us come out and talk to them, because we need to make them aware of the fact of what they're getting ready to get in their neighborhood. See, that's residential. There's no way you're gonna get away from residential out there. And they've already, the mayor said at Livable Neighborhood that they're not putting any roads in on that other side, the back side, because of residential. So that means all the traffic is gonna be coming in on this front side.
And then they questioned that. Did you
That's
hear
right,
them
that's
at
right,
the meeting?
that's right.
The people that live out, they questioned, they were asking why.
Right.
Yeah.
And see, this was the first time I haven't opened my mouth, y'all. Thank God, I'm learning. Because I would have normally said something when he was making the announcement. Because they're making these announcements and they're not talking about the diesel.
The downside.
Yeah, they're not talking about, they're excited about the job. Oh, we got 1,000 jobs coming in, and but it's kind of like what we're dealing with in this country. Because it's good to get jobs, we need the jobs. I'm the last one to tell you that we don't. But at the same time, when there's these kind of hazards coming along with them, I think people need to know what's going on also.
Okay, well, you talking about, in the area, you talking about Edgerton and Gardner and everything, what does that got to do with, you know, what you were saying, they're moving a lot of stuff out of the Edgerton.
Yeah, the Edgerton is gonna be the kind of the hub that the trucks are gonna be coming here, going to Edgerton, picking up the cargo and driving back out.
And you know, a lot of that belongs to the government out there.
Oh, yes.
And I won't tell you, you don't know why though, do you? Okay.
Well, see, the thing is this, if you got the problem, why would you build the hub, the intermodal? See, the intermodal used to be over here on Cass Avenue. Why would you build the intermodal next to a school? The elementary school out there in Edgerton, they built it right next to a elementary school. And they've had court cases, we don't know nothing about it here. They've been fighting that thing for the last 10 years before it came in.
Because they gotta pay the government.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Well,
a
see,
deja vu.
they got some stuff out there that you don't even know about.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, because, the reason I'm bringing this up, because I know. Because they got ICBM.
That's
kind
the missiles, yeah.
Out there, and
Yeah.
there ain't nowhere in the world you're gonna move.
Yeah, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, is this a done deal?
Oh, yeah, and I'm really upset about that. In fact, we just came back from Long Beach last week, and it's a group called Earth Justice that fights these cases. And I told them, I said, you know, y'all got Earth Justice all over California, down in Houston, all around them ports. You got them in New Jersey and New York, but you don't have them in Kansas City. And I said, we should have been fighting this case before the ink dried. Y'all waited till the ink dried. You know, once the ink dried, that's a monumental process you have to go in and work with. But we still need to make sure people understand that when those trucks are whipping and coming in there, that, you know, they need to be mindful of it, because unfortunately for Leticia, she's excellent for us to have with her, because she has a personal story of hers. She can't pinpoint, you can never pinpoint and say, that's what caused my child to die. But that is something that you look back on now and go, that's how innocent it can be, you know?
Well, it's just like in Flint.
Yes, that's it.
That is a prime example, because things have been happening all along.
Right.
But as long as it stays down here, it's okay,
It's
but,
okay.
you know, then once the,
In my story about Flint, and I'm not gonna take up all your time because y'all busy people, but my story in Flint is whenever I get interviewed, and I've been interviewed on national shows and stuff, I'll go, okay, how many glasses of water would you have allowed your baby or grandbaby to drink if you had been in Flint? You think about this water that was coloring my hand and was smelling. How many of them would you have given to your children? Then I go, well, how many baths would you have run for your babies and stuck them in? And everybody invariably said, none at all. I said, I want you to understand, the people in Flint, mothers, grandmothers, fathers, brothers, cousins, uncles, sisters, had them babies drinking that water and bathing in that water almost 2 years. You don't need a government to come in and tell you you got a problem.
Now they smell it.
Okay, so that's what makes this so important.
well, we have problems, Richard, right here in Roanoke County, that we know that we have.
Yes.
And we know that we have problems, but, you know, a prime example is, of the Big 11
Yes,
Lake.
yes.
And so now, and this is just local, even though the EPA was involved.
Right.
And, you know, and you look at that and say, well, because they really don't care about the people. And see, that's one thing that people don't understand.
Right.
They feel that, you know, well, we're the people, and how can, because when it comes to economics, monies and that kind of thing, your life means nothing as long as the money is flowing.
That's right.
And the other one was, they had that, Brownfield. I went to those meetings and, listened to the people talking about, you know, we cited different places. And then we brought up, you know,
Right.
what's the Rachel and where the cemetery.
Garland Park.
Yeah,
John
Garland
Garland Park,
Park.
yeah.
So we mentioned that because they wanted us to
Right.
give them certain properties that they could look at and see and try to figure out a way to deal with it. That, and the man told me himself, the one from, I don't know who he was from Brown, he told me, we can't touch that. He said, because
Thank you.
that's a government thing.
Yeah.
And so we knew then,
Right.
this is just an exercise, we're just going through the motions. Same thing with Bid 11 Link, the same thing.
Right.
So all you can do, like you say, is to make people aware, because you don't have the monies or the power.
The money or
Because
power.
it is what it is, you know, and you can make noises and you can like protest and you,
Yeah.
but it's still, it's like you said, the ink is dry.
Well, and they get ready to be dealing with, the mayor put me on that, storm drain,
Oh.
stormwater task force. Now, they getting ready to they getting ready to bring, their suggestion, their recommendation.
We had them here with
Yeah,
that,
well, they getting ready to take that to the commission.
and it's gonna be.
Okay,
Mhm.
and I'm sitting down there with him yesterday, cause I'm on the task force, and I asked him, I said,
Mhm.
who have y'all provided the commissioners with to educate them about the decision they gotta make?
That's not, you're,
They go, well, they have some people the city hired to come. I'm done with it. I'm done. I mean,
and
if you're
see, and
not,
then they put you on these things and you're just a,
yeah, yeah.
What do they expect you to do?
Yes, well, they got the wrong person with me. I'm telling you right now, they got the wrong person with me, because he don't like to hear me say it, but I have a mentor that kind of put me in the right position when I go talk to them folks. I went down and told them the biggest thing I was concerned about, you got a 20 to 30-year program going on, replacing storm drains in Wyandotte County. And you can't tell me that we can't take 3 to 5 years to teach our people how to qualify to dig a hole and stick a pipe in it. You don't need to be no rocket scientist to
like they
dig
did
a
years
hole
ago, right?
to put a pipe in it. I said, what we need to be doing is teaching our people work ethics. We need to be teaching our folks how to get up in the morning to go to work and how to act when they get to work and that kind of stuff. And I said, if you give me 3 to 5 years and we find a way to do that program, would you really seriously, Burns and McDonald's, consider hiring our people?
Yeah.
Well, the letter they sending into the city, they got that written into it. They got it written into it that they want to make sure that they put the emphasis out and try to get people hired in Wyandotte County. So that's the extent of, that's the best I can say.
Can I ask you a question, Jenna,
Yes,
just
sir.
for the minutes here? When the trucks are running, you mentioned that, what time of day is it best there for seniors and children to stay up?
I would say, once we get some kind of idea of when them trucks are running, we're gonna have to see how they flow at first. Right now, they going all day long. But I would think that because of rush hour, because the car traffic is included in it too. And so that would be the worst time, I think, to be outside, doing exercise and all that kind of stuff. That would probably be the period of the day that I would stay away from the most.
Well, they had an article in the paper, it's been maybe 6 months, maybe a year. They had a whole thing about the area that you're talking about.
Mhm.
And they, lots of information. And I said, oh, they're finally gonna, address this issue, because the concern of the area and people living there and the dynamics of the whole area, and it just went away.
Yeah.
It just
Well,
went away.
and I'll end this now, but I was with the guy at the Federal Reserve who's trying to deal with that Econ Avenue group that keeps meeting here in town. I know, don't say that, just say that I don't go to the meetings, I talk to it. He said that, Amazon probably knew
Oh,
10
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
10 years ago that this was gonna be going on in Kansas
Yeah,
City,
that's what they
because
said.
they was fighting in court back then.
Right.
So they were preparing to make this move that long ago. Now that Amazon's here, I'm telling you, you're gonna see these warehouses springing
All
up,
over. Yeah.
springing up. I hear there's another one going in down here by General Motors. They haven't said the name of it yet, because they won't tell you the name, but there's
Yeah.
another organization building
That's
a
it.
business down there.
Exactly.
It's gonna be as big as Indian Springs.
It's money, it's
Yeah.
money.
That's what it is.
Money
All right,
over-
gang, I told you, I don't come that often, but when I do, I'll come and lay something on you so you'll be aware.
And you know, it goes, and it's the same kind of thing about our health and our, well, it used to be a time when, you know, we thought that those in charge were concerned about the people.
Oh.
You know, we did, we used to think that.
They used to be concerned about.
And they were, you know, like the doctors and people, they cared about their little community. But see, now, you have to take charge and learn.
And learn yourself.
And try to find out as much information as you
Right.
can,
Right.
just for self-preservation,
Well-
because you can't leave it up.
Right. Our
You can't leave it up to other
responsibility,
people.
our responsibility is to try to pass this on to this generation that's
Yeah.
coming behind us.
Yeah.
Because there's two groups missing in action right now. One of them is our ministers, and everybody knows that. The other one that's missing in action is our black millennials.
Yes, yes. They're not there.
They're not there.
None of the ministers in Kansas City, Kansas live in Kansas City, Kansas.
Right.
They live out
So
in
they don't have,
Piper.
yeah.
They don't have that kind of
They don't.
notion anymore.
Mhm.
Well, thank you, and you know
Thank
I'm
you.
around, anything I can do to help you out. Like I said, I'm gonna make sure that when I come in and walk out of here, y'all gonna get something out of it.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Very
much.
informative.
Thank you, sir.
Very informative.
Did you have ribbon for Richard?
Yeah, he got it.
All right.
We like to present you.
Yes, sir.
Ribbon is, who I am makes a difference.
Yes,
And
sir.
also,
Leticia.
Leticia.
One more thing for you, and then I go. You know we got problems and relationships going on in Kansas City. And you know we've lost a couple of police officers. So what we are doing, because I'm a doer, is we're trying to create a fourth Friday up on Minnesota, like they have the first Friday in Kansas City, Missouri. So we're starting small. I'm working with El Centro. I'm working with Chuck, the downtown stop.